Welcome along to this short video celebrating the 5th anniversary of Property Tribes, and when we look back to when we founded the forum in February 2009, one of the original people who joined right after we launched was John Corey, a very familiar face no doubt to you all. So John, it's great to have you as part of this celebration, and first of all I was just wondering, what are your memories of the original incarnation of Property Tribes?
Well, thank you, Vanessa, and it was sort of shocking when Nick gave me the call saying it's the 5th year anniversary, because it's like, oh my God, maybe 3 years I would have imagined, but not 5. So it has come a long way, and there's been a lot of change if you think back. I mean, when we first started, there was, 3, 4 of us talking, and then I can remember it got to about 20 people, and there was a certain sort of camaraderie when there was only 20 people. But it was also a bit boring because there's only 20 people, and after you've talked about a few things, there's not much else to say. And then it grew over the years, and there was all the transitions from different platforms and everything else, and the improvements. And now it's like this monster that's really impressive.
Oh, well, thank you. And we're very grateful to your contributions as well, and being one of our community ambassadors. And, you know, I think along the way, we've all learnt so much about how landlords can leverage the social web, and really the kind of current incarnation of Property Tribes, you probably couldn't have really had it 5 years ago, because the web's developed so much since then, hasn't it? I mean, really the web is now a massive resource for landlords to tap into that hive mind.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes. The technology keeps moving forward. The marketplace, so the community of people, get used to using it more. I think what's been interesting too has been some really negative property events when it comes to certain companies or certain scams and certain legal actions that the regulators have taken against people. And people are getting better at actually finding out ahead of time by searching the web, asking the community, posting a question, hey, I just received this offer, and do you know about this person or this company? And that's made a big difference, I think, in the due diligence that people are doing. So in that sense, Property Tribes as a community and the technology as a platform has made a big difference.
I think you're absolutely right, and the landlords that befriend Mr. Google and sites like Property Tribes are probably going to be the success stories of the future, because they are going to be educated and they're going to use due diligence as a shield against bad things happening further down the line.
I agree. In fact, so a little plug here, I'm launching a new venture in a couple of weeks, and it's focused on online education. We're taking some of the things you learn in the seminar and getting those same seminar experts to deliver the content in an online format, so able to reach people who can't really make it to a meeting, who maybe are engaged in Property Tribes online, and they're sort of part of an online conversation, but they want to take a whole course. And they want to go a little deeper than any one conversation.
Fantastic. Well, let us know about that on PT. That's what it's there for. What would you say are the main benefits to a landlord and or property investor of using a site like Property Tribes?
Well, first of all, you're talking to people that are just like yourself. If you're a landlord or investor, you're talking to other landlords and investors. You're maybe talking to people who have no experience to people that have centuries of, well, not centuries, decades of experience. Okay,
well, the cumulative thing is probably thousands of years of experience, isn't it?
Oh, it has to be, because there's definitely people on there with 10, 20, 30 years of experience, and you multiply that by a few thousand people, and suddenly you've got quite a knowledge bank. Secondly, I like to say that communities give me an opportunity to understand what's going on in the wider marketplace, that I have 8,000, if there's 8,000 people in the community, there's 8,000 eyes and ears who are reporting back, and I can sort of listen in on what they're discovering, which to some degree means I can be slightly lazy about paying attention, because if someone else notices it, they'll raise it, and then I'll, oh yeah, okay, fine, didn't notice that. And particularly if it's a regulatory change or a best practice for how to be a landlord or deal with tenants, or the more recent changes with how deposits are handled. So.
Absolutely. And I think, just to finish, John, what would you say to a novice landlord that reads Property Tribes but thinks that they don't have any value to add? Because I genuinely believe that by asking powerful questions, that other people will benefit from that question being asked. Do you agree?
I completely agree, because historically what I say to people is I may be bad about remembering certain things until someone asks a question. And if they ask the question, it trips a memory, then I say something, someone else says something, and the collective wisdom of the community sort of brought to the surface because of that question. So actually, I think it's the newbie investors who ask new questions or the same old question more than once. That's what keeps the conversation going.
Indeed, and we were all new once, weren't we? Nick and I started 10 years ago, you started before that, so we were all new once, and we all have to go on our own journeys, and I think sites like Property Tribes can be a very big part of that journey and supporting that journey.
It's definitely about a journey. Everybody's on their own path to the future, and it is sort of funny how time flies. It has been an amazing 5 years.
Well, thank you very much for all your support, John, and perhaps we'll dial you up on Skype or some other newfangled communication method in 5 years' time when we celebrate 10 years. So it's been great talking to you, and thank you very much for all your support of the members of PT.
Thank you, Vanessa and Nick.
Bye-bye.